Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I am honored to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. And I do genuinely mean those things when I say them. I just felt like I needed to tell you guys, like I do truly. I am so honored for every new subscriber, for every new person that comes in and checks out my channel. But I miss when I'm not filming for you guys. I miss touching your energies and working with them and learning how much you guys have grown and are growing through all of this stuff. It is such a blessing to me, and I do want you guys to all know that. So Virgo risings, we are now working through Scorpio season. And as I've been telling all the rising signs, if you're interested in learning what it means to be a Virgo rising, at least from my interpretation, my understanding of it, you can go and check out the Libra season messages. And the intro to those messages gives this awareness of what it means to have this as your rising sign. We are going to be working into Scorpio season, and Scorpio season starts on October 23rd this year and runs until November 22nd. Now, this year's Scorpio season is a big deal kind of energy because it is the season that we are primed and ready for a massive transformation, transition within the collective and within our personal lives. This Scorpio season, we are actually closing out the eclipse patterns of 2022. And when we do that, we are getting some massive download energy, a lot of awareness, a lot of awakening. Plus, we're moving through Samhain and Beltane, depending on whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. And these are the sabbats where the gateway between the living realm and the spiritual realm open, or the veil between the two thins, and communication between the physical realm and the spiritual realm becomes much easier. Now, during this season, we also have, like as if that wasn't enough, but we also have Mars going retrograde for the first time since 2022. And Mars is going retrograde in Gemini, which means that you mutable signs are actually going to be feeling this retrograde energy significantly more than any other signs. That being said, I do want to let you know that my Mars retrograde guidebook for the 2022-2023 retrograde cycle, which starts October 30th and runs until January 12th, is available on Amazon in paperback, ebook, and Kindle Unlimited. So please go check out the links in the description box for my author page on Amazon and go get that copy today, because this retrograde cycle, we have so much to learn. There's so much potential, and the messages that came through were so unbelievably profound. So definitely go get your copy today. But all that being said, we're going to be working through the eclipse patterns instead of the new moon and full moon patterns. We're going to look at the eclipses and the in-between moon phases. Now, if you're new to my channel, I did want to explain what the runes are for and what the piles are. So each of the runes correlates, and piles here correlates to a different moon cycle. We're working with the 4 primary moon cycles. That's the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the third quarter moon. And we're going to go in those orders. However, for the entire month of October, because it is spooky season, I have elected to use witch runes in all of my readings, and that would be what these are. However, as I was preparing for doing my rising sign messages, I actually got this overwhelming urge to work with the Elder Futhark runes instead. And this, I work very closely with Odin and with Freya, and with my daughter works very closely with Loki. So the Norse gods and goddesses are no strangers to this house, to our household, to the work that we do here. And so when I was tapping into the runes, what I got to understanding is it's about seeing that even though these are different runes, they're from different places and different perspectives, they still all flow together. And we're meant to blend things together, to work things into a harmony together in a completely different way. And Virgos, you can sometimes have trouble doing that, blending things together completely. Some of you do, some of you don't. But it's kind of because of that analytical nature. It's like, can I really mix this in? But this is really helping. This way of moving is actually here to help you guys. Now, I got to tell you guys, I was picking up the same energy this month or through Scorpio season as I was picking up for you through Libra season. So I am picking up a lot of energies of some massive transformation for you guys. Now, the overall rune energy that you got, and you guys may be tied to Pisces. However, Pisces is your opposite sign. So Pisces is your descendant, and this is something that came up in the Pisces reading too, is this awareness that your ascendant and your descendant is not about who you are versus the person that you are attracting in your life, but it's about who you are versus a part of yourself that you have to assimilate into yourself. It's realizing that both parts of you are parts of the whole. In a lot of ways, I look at the descendant and think of it much like our shadow side. So this is something that perhaps as of right now you are working on, is getting in touch with your shadow, or learning your shadow, or even integrating your shadow and learning to embody the fullness of all parts of who you are. Now, everybody's going to be on their own journey, but this is an energy that I'm picking up really strongly. And that because of that, and I normally wouldn't do this, but because of these extreme similarities, I would say you might want to watch Pisces rising as well for these moon phases, just so that you can understand what the other side of you is doing through these moon phases. So we do have the rune Dagas or day, and this is about an awakening and enlightenment. For Pisces rising, it was about their third eye opening. For you, I feel like it's your crown is blossoming. I actually got the vision of a lotus flower opening on the crown chakra. So this is a type of spiritual awakening where it is a crown awakening. That's a lot of downloads, a lot of awareness, but in that occurrence, a lot of shadows come up, a lot of emotions come up, a lot of things that you didn't realize. There is this revelation of duality that happens. Now, I did get a message for you guys. I actually got two for Virgo risings in particular. The first one was, between light and dark, there exists the truth of who we are. And that means that we need to understand that we exist within the liminal space. We exist both in the light and in the dark, which means that we exist in the gray area. And as a mutable sign, it is your nature to be in the gray area. And you're here to help show people what that's like, how to do that, how to live like that, and how to bring that forth into the world. Now, the other message I got is manifestation. So some of you may be working on manifestation, or some of you may be thinking about manifestation or learning the law of attraction or anything like that. But a lot of the energies I was picking up was about manifestation. It's about learning how your thoughts create your reality. And when you shift your thoughts, your reality shifts as well. Now, those are the core messages, the overall theme. So we're working within an awakening energy again. You may be going through a massive upheaval Kundalini awakening. You may be going through an ascension, but this is, a lot of it is tied to your crown chakra. The four primary moon phases that we have, we're working with your third house, your sixth house, your ninth house, and your 12th house. Now, in your third house, we are going to be looking at your relationships and how you communicate with yourself and the communication styles that you learned when you were a kid that are impacting your relationships. With that, it is going to be October 25th in the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. And this is the Five of Cups with the Crossroads rune. And then we're going to be moving on to the first quarter moon in Aquarius on Samhain. And well, it crosses over between October 31st and November 1st, which is Samhain. All of that actually constitutes Samhain and or Beltane. And this is your sixth house. So we're going to be looking at your career, your work sector, how you take care of yourself and how you come forth in the work and the service that you do. You do rule the 6th house, so this is a natural energy for you. And we have the Ace of Wands with the male rune. And then we're going to be moving into the 9th house. And this is where we're going to be focusing on your spiritual health, your spiritual progress, your spiritual growth. In this one, we have Beltane, the card 6, and the Star rune. And I did want to mention that this particular deck, the As Above deck, is actually signified by messages from your higher self in particular. And then we move on to, and this, oh, sorry guys. This is November 8th, and it is the full moon and total lunar eclipse in Taurus. And then we're going to move on to November 16th with the 3rd quarter moon in Leo. And this is going to hit in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is that deep spiritual house, but we're not looking at the spirituality of it. We're looking at the subconscious, the unconscious of your own mind. Because in order to get to the spiritual level of that, we first must go within ourselves. So we have to peel back the layers of the self before we can get to the depths and the connection to the collective. So this is how we focus on who you are and what your path is. And in that, we have the 8 of Pentacles and the Romance rune. So without further ado, and I just saw 11:22 on my clock, in case that is significant for anybody, if you're seeing any repeating numbers, 11 or 22 or ones and twos or ones and threes, because I just saw 11:33 too. But we are going to move on and dive into your 3rd house and the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. So I'm going to pause the video and transition. Sorry, guys, my words are all messed up this morning. I'm going to transition over into the first pile. All right, Virgo. So we are working on October 25th, and this is the new moon and partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. But we are going to be focusing particularly on the solar eclipse, the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. This is happening in your 3rd house. This is all about the ways in which you perceive yourself, you think about yourself, the thoughts, the critical analysis, but also the ways in which you learn to speak in the world. The way that you use to learn, or the way that you learn to use your voice. Now, this is a 14-5 or a Temperance and Hierophant energy. So this is all about alchemizing those past structures to give way to a new beginning. And with this giving way to a new beginning, we are beginning a new 56-year eclipse cycle, which is called the Saros cycle. And it happens every 18 years, occurring in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this particular eclipse is falling in the first decan of Scorpio, or the first 10 degrees. And this is about transforming the scorpion. Now, the Scorpio energy has 3 levels. It's the scorpion, the eagle, and the phoenix. And so it depends on where you're at in your journey and how far you go into this scorpionic transformation. But it's about healing the sting from the past, surrounding how you love yourself as viewed through the lens of the loss of love that happened in your past. So we can hold on to these pains, these anguishes that have happened in the past because we don't love ourselves, or we don't think that we're worthy of love because someone somewhere at some point stopped loving us. And now who are we to say that we're worthy of love? Who we are to say that is divinely guided people who are meant for love. But we have to be able to see that. Now, Mars and Black Moon Lilith are both going to be out of bounds for the entirety of Scorpio season, as well as further seasons, but this is what we're focusing on. Mars out of bounds in Gemini right now, and again, is moving into that retrograde cycle. So go check out that retrograde guidebook. Links are in the description box. But Mars out of bounds and Black Moon Lilith out of bounds, neither one of them follow any of the astrological rules. They're kind of saying, screw the rules, screw whatever you say I'm supposed to do for you. I'm going to do it my own way. And when I started tapping into these energies, I fought against that because I was like, no, this is what the structure says. This is what society says. This is what the history of astrology says. And I literally got this big, like, F all of that energy and was like, no, this is how it goes. This is how I'm operating. If we're going to work together, you're going to listen to this. And that's literally how Mars came in for me. So Mars out of bounds in Gemini is making this harmonious trine with the sun, the moon, and Mercury in Libra. This is giving us creative solutions so that we can transform the ways in which we communicate to bring in more balance and more harmony, both within the ways that we talk to ourselves, as well as the ways that we are able to communicate through conflicts when we come into our interpersonal relationships. So this is all about how you communicate to yourself and your relationships. So this is a huge key factor for you to look at, is how can I find new ways to communicate? How can I adopt new ways to communicate? What is it about my communication style that is not working, and how can I transform this? Mars is helping you do that, helping you find within yourself that willpower, that drive, that ambition to do that, to change that, to heal that. Black Moon Lilith being out of bounds in Cancer is making a harmonious trine with the Sun, the Moon, and Venus, all of which are in Scorpio. Now, this is about learning how to nurture and mother the self, and nurture and mother our hearts from the losses and the lack of loyalty, and that feeling that we've been abandoned to the murkiness of being trapped in the past, in these past cycles and these past patterns, so that we can set a purpose and an intention to free our hearts from these by loving ourselves. And it does sound very simplistic when I say it that way. We just are meant to love ourselves. But that is what we're being called to do. Now, Pluto is at a critical degree in Capricorn, and that Pluto at a critical degree, or the critical degree of 26, this is the final critical degree, the final transit that Pluto is going to make on this degree, the final time. So Pluto's energy is this pressure cooker, hyper intense judgment energy, calling for us to really make the judgment calls for the transformations that we have to make in our lives for our betterment. It is shit or get off the pot moment. And Pluto is making that abundantly clear in the skies. Like, even in my own life, Pluto is making that abundantly clear. Like, this is what you're doing. This is not working for you. This is what you need to do. And Pluto is taking no prisoners on this. Pluto is squaring off with the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, and Venus. Now, this is crossing over from Libra and Scorpio. So where you're hitting your second house of self-value, your third house of communication, and it's really, really, really hyper amplifying these things within you and the way that you express yourself, because Capricorn is your fifth house. That's your self-expression. That's your romance. That's your love. That's how you view love. You have this hyper emphasis, this huge, huge tension. This is about learning that the true purpose of transformation is a means of healing the self. It's not meant to be seen outwardly as success. Romance, love, self-expression. It's not about being a success outwardly in your life. It's about truly healing yourself and transforming yourself for the better. Now, this tension is going to be a pressure on your mind. Much like I kept saying, a pressure cooker. You have the opportunity to open to this because you have that crown chakra opening energy. So it's about turning the corner and surrendering to a new way of doing things, a new way of communicating, a new way of coming forward and expressing yourself, learning how to do this in a new way, surrendering to what Pluto and the divine are calling for you to do and allowing it to happen. It's also the tension to transform all the past structures so that you can come into a greater awareness of how you can be more emotionally grounded, and then verbalize your emotions in this life. In this way, it's about speaking life into your world. It's about taking the edge off of the words that you speak. And guys, I am married to a Virgo rising. I am here to tell you that as a Leo rising, I know I can be an ass. Virgo risings have that exact capability, but they can deflect really well. And they also tend to say things in the most sarcastic way without realizing how harsh it actually sounds. So sometimes the divine calls us to really evaluate what we're saying, how we're saying it, and hear ourselves. Pluto is hyper amplifying this to get you to take the edge off of the words that you speak. And more than just towards others, this is about what you speak internally, how you speak to yourself. This is about you learning how to soften that blow to yourself so you stop beating yourself up all the time. This is about a new cycle of wholeness within yourself and within the world. It's about learning how to embrace the mystery of life, diving deep into that mystery, because we are in Scorpio season and this is the depths of the occult. So you're being called to really dive into that occult energy, dive into that mystery, and realize how whole you really are. We're all created unique. We all have our own unique divine creation. And in that, we are created whole. We're not meant to be filled up by other people. And in the areas in our lives and in ourselves where we feel incomplete, it is up to spirit to pour back into us. And that's what spirit is calling for us to do. Let spirit pour into you. This is going to give you a sense of wholeness and balance within the world and the collective, and how you come into the world. It's such an important energy. Now, because we're working with your third house in communication, this is about, more so than anything, it's about how you talk to yourself. Now, the energy that you're embodying right now is the crossroads energy with the Five of Cups. And this particular Five of Cups, she's literally at a party and nobody shows up. There's no one there. She feels left out. She feels alone. This is about realizing that the obstacles that make you feel alone, that make you feel like you're all alone in the world and nobody is there and nobody understands, these obstacles and these challenges are meant to get you to come back to yourself, to see the truth of yourself. Now, last season you were working with Wheel of Fortune energy during Libra season, and that means that you were looking at, do I feel lucky? Do I feel blessed? Do I feel abundant? Do I feel whole and healthy and healed? Do I feel like the world is at my fingertips? And with you in this crossroads and Five of Cups energy, I'm telling you, what I'm picking up is no. But the reason why I'm picking up you don't feel that way is because you're in this devil energy right now. You're in this energy of telling yourself, I can't, I won't, I have no, like, I don't have the resources, I cannot do this. And that's what the devil energy is. The devil energy is that you're never going to get where you want to be. It's this trapping of your own mind. And in this way, I know the devil energy talks about addictions a lot, and I'm not going to negate that because I've been dealing with my own, like, quitting vaping. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm letting go of addictions. I am 2 years sober. Now I am ready to let go of the crutch that I was using to get over my sobriety because I'm at that stage. I'm ready. However, this devil energy does not feel like addictions to me. For some of you, yes, it likely is. Some of you, it likely is some addictions that you need to let go of. But it's more than that. It is about the mentality that you tell yourself, that perhaps you're telling yourself, what I do doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Or what I say doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Maybe you're saying it doesn't matter as long as I believe that the world is a good place, it's fine. That's great, but you have to believe that you're good. It depends on how you look at your mentality right now. And with the devil energy, and this being your relationships, it's literally like there's a little devil on your shoulder telling you, do this, do that, do this, say that. And that's based off of your childhood. However your parents spoke to each other or whatever adult figures you had. And when you come into this state of the Wheel of Fortune and the devil, you're learning some heavy karmic spiritual lessons here. You're learning these heavy, painful lessons. Like, it just feels painful. But if you look here, it almost looks like the cape of the devil turns into just this stone that she stands up from. And now you've got this inspiration, this awareness, it's the way I'm speaking to myself. Oh, I'm my own greatest enemy. Oh, it's within my mind. If I know it's within my mind, then I can overcome it because I can overcome my own mind better than I can overcome just about anything else in life. And when you take that stance, then going inward becomes this massive, like, slaying the dragon kind of journey. And you're learning how to break free of the mentality that you don't have any control over anything and that everything is just fated or karmic or whatever. You're learning that you actually do have control when you move within your mind. So you don't have to focus on the sadness if you choose not to. You can focus on, hey, I need to change this mindset. I need to change this behavior. I need to change this way of being. And this partial solar eclipse is literally primed for you to do that, because it's primed for you to change into a new way of being, a new way of perceiving things. And with that, when you move into the Ace of Wands energy, which is what you're being called to do, you have all this creative inspiration, this awareness of every possibility and potentiality that you hold within yourself. And now you know, I can do this. I can do this. And whatever this is in your life, you're going to do it because you literally have the message to manifest. So it's all about your mentality. You're manifesting the reality that you're living in. So if you remember that, then you can change that. So this is the Samhain Oracle card. And with all of the Samhain Oracle cards throughout all of the piles, this is all about your ancestors and the messages from your ancestors. So let's get the message from your ancestors. We have Elders, the card 15. Again, 15 and 15. Birthed from seed within the belly of the moon, they are the wise felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. So this is saying that you have a much older soul than you think that you do. And when you tap into that older part of your soul, you grow up. And I don't mean that the harsh way, but I mean like you learn how to grow up. You learn how to transition out of this devil energy where you don't think that you have any power, so you don't actually harness your power or embrace your power. And we've got light orbs like crazy in here today. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I promise you it's not dust. It is genuinely light orbs just like flying everywhere. You guys have a lot of spiritual activity going on around you. But again, with this Elders card, it's kind of like maybe you need a guide. Maybe you need someone who can give you advice, someone who you look at as an elder. But know that within your absolute being, you have this elder energy. You have this awareness of the strength that you contain within yourself. You are an older soul than you give yourself credit for. So let's get this message over here. We have prosperity. Yeah. And the card 17, have patience. Love is patient and kind always. And look, we've got the lotus flower. I swear to God, you guys, I do not look at these cards ahead of time. But this is literally like your crown is opening. Your mind is opening. And with that, you're learning that the more abundant you feel and the more abundant you communicate into the world and into your relationships, the more that you actually step into a state of prosperity. You may have been struggling with your relationship with money in particular. And this may be something that came from the elders in your family where money just, it wasn't talked about, or it wasn't discussed, or it wasn't, it's like it wasn't focused on, but it wasn't, what's the word, Spirit? Not wasn't. It's like money just was. It just was an entity, but nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about living abundantly because there was always struggle. And that happens. That happens with our elders. That happens with the older generations. We're learning how to break free of that. We're learning a new way. We're learning how to work with the universal laws. We're learning how to break certain cycles and patterns and things that we believed were always going to be there. It takes patience. And especially when you're stepping into a state of abundance and prosperity and you haven't lived that way, you haven't allowed yourself to perceive that, it takes patience. I'm sitting here telling you, like, it's taken me over a year to break 500 on my channel, and it was painful and exhausting. And like, it was so hard. If it hadn't been for my husband constantly going, you're playing the long game, you're playing the long game, you're playing the long game. And the constant continual reminder that I can do this, I got this. It was so defeating for me. Sometimes shifting your perspective, shifting your life And I just heard shifting your life. Shifting your life takes time, and it takes patience, and it takes diligence, and it takes being kind. And not just to the people that you love, but being kind to yourself and loving yourself. That's so important, especially with this partial solar eclipse. You can literally transform that this now. Set the intention to heal your heart. Let's get your further messages. We have meditation for creativity. See, there's so much creativity that wants to awaken within you. I think he's painting, it looks almost like he's trying to paint a phoenix. And then the card 16, bitch fire, stand up for yourself. Seriously, this is literally saying, like, let your creativity come out and stand up for what you know is right for yourself. Stand up to yourself for yourself. Stand up for what is right for you. Stand up and say, this is how I choose to see myself. And I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to shine this fucking light out, and nobody is going to say anything at all, because I'm worthy of this. If people want to abandon me, screw them, because I've got this cake and I've got these balloons and I'm going to live my life. So if you want to come up against me, that's fine, because I'm going to shine my freaking light out, and I'm going to show you what enlightenment looks like. I'm going to show you what it means to be prosperous, what it means to be creative, what it means to overcome all of the shit that I have had to overcome. I'm going to show you all this. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to go running off because you're scared, because there's a volcano back here that looks like it's going to explode, and you've got bitch fire in your hand. People are going to go running away. They're going to go running away because they can't fuck with you anymore. They can't mess with you anymore. Your mind can't be messed with anymore. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a powerful thing to get to. That means that you're stepping into a cycle where you know that you are a creative being, but you know that you are co-creating your existence. Now is the time to manifest, because you've suddenly moved yourself into it. Because you've sat in this state of, I can't do this, I can't change this, I can't fix this for long enough. You are your own worst enemy when you're in this 5 of Cups, because you've got this big, huge, lavish party behind you. Don't focus on what is fallen apart. Focus on what you have in your life right there. Go to the party, live with the party. Like, go to what you still have and build it and grow it, because that's how you choose a path instead of feeling all discombobulated. And that's where your prosperity lies. Have patience with yourself and have patience with this journey, but stand firm in your truth and your worthiness. And that's how you shine that bitch fire out. All right. Wow, that took a turn. I love it though, because we've got 15, 16, 17. So we are literally, like, you are moving forward in these massive, massive lessons in a really beautiful way, because you're shifting from the devil to the tower directly into the star energy really quickly. And that's what I'm picking up here, is you're really quickly getting into that energy. So I'm going to pause it. We're going to transition over to the first quarter moon in Aquarius. All right, my lovely Virgo risings. We are back, and we are now moving on to October 31st and November 1st. And this is Samhain, or All Saints Day, the Day of the Dead, however you want to phrase it. It is All Hallows Eve. And we are moving through the first quarter moon in Aquarius. This is about the lessons of the soul. Now, what we are learning here is about balancing the truth of ourselves by knowing the light within and shining that light out. Can you guys not see the light orbs? Like, just holy cow. They're everywhere for you guys. And I love that. I love that, because it's been a while since they've popped in quite so heavily. But we are working on, the veil time, the time where the veil is the thinnest. This is about healing the hope of the heart and the faith in ourselves to find our place, our truest place within the world and within the collective. This thinning of the veil is asking us to connect with our ancestors of the soul. Now, we can have many ancestors of time, of place, of blood, but ancestors of the souls, those are the ancestors that don't care whether we were in, a spaceship a million miles away, or whether we walked this planet together, it is a connection that we build based off of our soul, based off of a resonance from the depths of who we are. And our ancestors of soul come with us throughout all generations and all times and places. And they walk with us when we are incarnate and they are not. And they're here with us to help bridge that gap between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, so we can remember that we have the love and we have the support all around us. Now, these ancestors of the soul are asking for us to really realize what they've been through, what they went through prior to us coming here, and give the gratitude that we have within our hearts and souls for the struggles that they have gone on, that they have endured, because it's through their struggles that we learn and that we are able to heal ourselves and heal our ancestors and our descendants. Now, there's something that came through in one of my readings, and I honestly, I cannot tell you guys if it was in a reading that I did on YouTube or if it was something that I did in one of my mini pick-a-cards on Instagram. But the message was so profound, it stuck, and it has been a theme in this reading or in these rising sign readings about ancestors and us coming to this understanding that we are the ancestors. We look to our ancestors, but we are also our ancestors. That means what we do here and now are setting down the roots and the cycles and the foundations for who and what is to come. It's for our descendants. Someday someone is going to look back in their family tree and they're going to find your name. And they're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm related to this person. This person did this and I'm related to them. And they're going to find that connection, and that's going to inspire them to move forward, to follow their path, to follow their heart, because you did it, you set the precedent, and you are the inspiration. Now, some people, and I'm telling you, I know this well enough, some people are like, I don't care what people think when I go. You should, because there are other generations to consider. We're all connected, which means that all of those future descendants, they matter too. They matter just as much as you matter. They matter just as much as you matter. So not attaching and not caring about this world and this purpose and this place that you're in, it matters. It matters. Please understand, it matters. What you do here matters. Who you are and how fulfilled you are matters. It just does. And this first quarter moon, and if you were here for my last one, and I'm going to tell you guys, all first quarter and third quarter moon phases are like this because they're attention aspect. They're created by attention aspect. It's a bloody freaking chart. All the aspects are red. It's really tense. It's really frustrating. This one in particular is highlighting our choices and the results of those choices or the consequences of the choices that we make. And it's being highlighted through excessive tensions and triggers. But these tensions and triggers that we're finding they're not there to make us feel like we're awful human beings. The tension and the triggers are there to give us greater clarity into the nature of being nurtured and empathetic with ourselves, and how being nurtured and empathetic with ourselves actually diffuses tension within us, and it diffuses anger to these triggers, and it brings a deeper, more loving energy into one's family. And this is both the physical and the spiritual families. This specific first quarter moon phase and the actions that you take are going to dictate a lot more than you think they are, because you're setting the precedent and you're setting the tone for Pluto's future. And you're the first sign that message has come through. Wow. But there are gifts and blessings of freedom that can be found through healing the self from the pains of the past. So there's a book series that I read. It's called the Fever series. The first book is called Dark Fever. And it's a sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal romance series. And I love it. I love it. It's written by Karen Marie Monning, if anybody wants to check it out. But there's a character on there, Jericho Barons, who says, stay to the lights. And the reason he says that is because there is a type of dark fae in that book called the shadow. And these shadows live in the dark places. And if you don't stay to the light, and if you don't keep a light on you and keep yourself surrounded by light, the shadow consumes you. And then you are lost to the shadow. And this is no different than it is in the spiritual world. When you don't remember the light that you have within you, you get lost in the darkness. Now, the moon is making a parallel with Pluto in Capricorn, but with this Pluto energy, or with this, parallel energy, we're looking at just the moon and just Pluto. It's just about the archetypes. It's not about where the moon is. It's not about where Pluto is. It's the archetypal energies. This is an awareness that listening to the calling of the soul, that judgment call of the soul, can be the action that you take to bring greater healing. And it brings that greater healing through knowing that it's the darkness that brings blessings. It's the light in the darkness that brings blessings. Magic is literally what we make of it. We choose what magic is in our lives. We choose how to work with it. And emotions that you can so easily ignore and discount, emotions are blessings. They are blessings of this experience that we call the journey of life, because if you can't feel emotions, you can't feel happiness. You can't feel joy. You can't feel inspiration. Our emotions are our feelings, and they show us that we are alive in this time. They show us that we are connected to something greater. Our emotions and the ways in which we feel and interact with this plane of existence, those are the reasons why we incarnate here. It's not just because we want to up level. It's not just because we need to heal this and heal that. It's because we want to experience what it's like to feel all of this. We have a light within us. Stay to the light within you and allow that light to guide you forward. Now, for you in particular, because this is an initiation moon cycle, this is about taking action. And it is a fixed energy. So it's about knowing the action that you want to take and saying, I'm going to take it no matter what. You're in this Ace of Wands energy. You're in this inspiration energy. And you have the male symbol, which means you're really harnessing that energy from Mars. You're really harnessing that energy of, I have all this inspiration within me and I'm going to take it into the outside world. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to make this happen. Now, in the past, you were coming from a 10 of Cups energy, and this is all about your workspace. So your working life is going great. It's actually something that you feel like if you continue in this job, in this workspace, that it's going to continue to bring blessings. And again, we've got the lotus flower. But there's something that I'm feeling here, especially with the fact that you're in the Knight of Wands energy and it's aiming at that 10 of Cups. And you've got the Page of Cups, which is also aiming at the Knight of Wands and the 10 of Cups, that perhaps you just came to the revelation of something that you want in your life that would be your 10 of Cups. And so you now know that you can have it because you've seen it. Maybe you had a vision, you had a dream, you had just this like massive awakening revelation. And that's what I keep getting from you guys. And that's literally your theme here is awakenings, revelations, realizing the duality of the world, but having your crown awaken, going through an enlightenment phase, realizing the gray area and knowing that you can live and create and build the world that you want. What I'm seeing here is your crown is overflowing in showing you what you want, and you're now getting the inspiration to take action. Now, the Page energy and the Knight energy, having the Page and the Knight, it's like having those lower level energies before the King and the Queen. So you're learning how to fight for the power that you have within you. And that's a beautiful thing because you may be thinking about shifting your work. You may be moving into a new place of work, but this is also about realizing what you have to offer in this world and being very true to that. And that's that staying to the light energy. You're focusing on the positives in your workspace, and that's a really important thing. This is about work, not career, work. This is how you are of service to yourself and to others. This is how you care for yourself. And how you take care of yourself and take care of your work. There's a lot here. So let's take a look at the message from your ancestors. We have Altar, the card 2. A sacred devotion, a worship skin deep rising from the ash, the waters you keep. Look, fire and waters, like literally, if you don't have an altar space, this is just saying what place in your home, in your heart, in your soul is a sacred place for you. What do you do in your sacred space? For me, my office is a sacred space. My bedroom is a sacred space. I really consider my whole home a sacred space. Do I welcome other people and energies in? Absolutely. But do I have my guard and boundaries? Well, not guard, but I have my boundaries. And I know what I will and will not allow within my space. And I know the protection that I have. I also have an altar space for my guides, and I have an altar space for my ancestors. Your ancestors may want you to really connect with them during this moon phase. And this is Samhain, so it is about connecting with the ancestors. Maybe set out a candle for them in a place that you find to be sacred. It doesn't have to be an altar. But I'm getting the sense that your ancestors have some wisdom that they want to bestow upon you to show you about the rising that you're doing, this Phoenix rising energy that you're doing. So let's get some messages from your guides. We have strength and 22, the heart of the matter. There is more going on than what meets the eye. And I will be right back. I'm going to let Willow out, and I'm going to turn my stove top down. I'm making soup today. Okay, I am back. Man, alive. I am telling you guys, my whole house smells like homemade chicken soup. I don't put noodles in my soup. I just prefer having it just be the core ingredients. But I put all these special herbs and everything. This time, just smelling it makes my whole house feel like, it just feels like magic. So when it comes to what your guides are saying here is, you've seen this 10 of Cups and you have this inspiration, but you have to get to the heart of it. You have the strength to find within your heart what it is that you want and what you desire, but you have to allow yourself to have it shown to you. When I see there's more going on than meets the eye, I'm looking at all of these cups that are lined up down the row, and none of them are full. None of them are full. You've got this one cup that is full and it's overflowing, and that's great. But the 10 of Cups traditionally is about all 10 cups being full and overflowing. You want all of it. And if you want all of it, then you have to realize that you have the strength to find within yourself all that you desire. Now, both of these knights are in the desert. That means they are aiming for something that they want, that they know that they can have. You have the strength to create this life that you want, but you have to be able to believe in it and realize that it's not a mirage. I just heard it's nothing but a mirage, because someone here thinks that you can't have the life that you desire. And we got to have some real talk here, because your guides feel a little bit frustrated, to say the least. And I'm getting that frustrated energy. And when I feel that frustrated energy, I start feeling like I'm being kind of bitchy. So if I sound that way, I apologize. But your guides are like, this is not a mirage. You were gifted these things. You have these gifts. You have this awareness. You have what you need. You have what you want. You contain it all within yourself. And how many times do we have to tell you that you can have this life if you dream it and believe it? This is your time to step into it. The heart of the matter is that no matter what you think you see, like no matter what you think you see in front of you, it's not the truth of what is going on. There are more things in heaven and earth than what can be thought of. There's a quote about that. There is a quote. There are more things. I'm going to grab my phone. Oh my gosh. It's like a mile away from me. Let's see. There are more. There we go. Hamlet. That's right. Hamlet said, there are more things on heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I feel like your guides are really coming at you and being like, Dude. And forgive me when I say dude like that, it's because when I talk to my daughter, Eliza, that's literally what I do. I'm like, dude, you need to get real about this. But your guides are literally saying, like, hey, focus here. Whatever it is that you think here, whatever you're telling yourself you can or cannot have, or that is or is not true, we're just here to tell you we're stronger than you are. Your soul is stronger than you think you are, and you can have all you want. There is more in heaven and hell than can be thought of in your philosophy. So the more that you continue to go down a negative mindset path, the more that you're going to see that there is even more out there. It almost feels like your guides are like, God, there's that Pluto. I just keep hearing shit or get off the pot. I know that's so crude. It's so crude. I apologize. I have the feeling somebody here just kind of has the mouth of a sailor. But you have this strength card. You have this strength card, and look, she is holding these baby lions. Who does that? Who does that is somebody who knows that they have the strength to tame the beast. You have the strength to tame these mentalities. You have the strength to change this. There is more going on outside in the world and all around us on the spiritual plane than what we can ever possibly see. This is the thinning of the veil. The things that are going to happen today for you in particular feel quite profound. Go with it. Allow it to be, because something is awakening within you. So let's get this. We've got listening to wisdom. Yes. See? And then we've got the card 18, tree, and let them go. This right here. Look at this. Let go of that mindset. Hear the wisdom of your soul. Hear the wisdom of your ancestors. Hear the wisdom of spirit. And let go of the things that you keep telling yourself you can't have or you can't do. This tree, let them go, is literally your mindset. Let them go. Let your mindsets go. Let it go. Leave it alone. Walk away from it. Let it burn. Let yourself transform from the ashes. A sacred devotion, a worship skin deep, rising from the ash, the waters you keep. This is about letting go of the emotions and the mentality that isn't right for you and moving forward as the phoenix rising. There are more things in heaven and hell than can be thought of in your philosophy. There are more things going on than what meets the eye. You have the strength to continue letting these things go. Listen to the wisdom of your heart and soul. Listen to what you know within your being, not what the outside world tells you, not what the past tells you, not what history tells you, and not what your finances or your bank account or anything. And look, whenever the camera does that and my hand is not moving on screen, I take that as a confirmation from spirit. Do not listen to anything aside from what you know for yourself. And yes, I know I'm shooting myself in the foot here because that means I'm telling you not to listen to me. But if your soul is singing while I am speaking, then you know that I am resonant with your soul. And that means that you know how to hear your soul, because if you know how to hear me, then you know how to hear your own soul. And I know that may seem counterproductive or counterintuitive, because how in the world is that possible? Because you're listening to me, right? Like I'm listening to you, Monica, is what I just heard. It's because I am in your energy. I'm in your energy, which means I'm only speaking what I know from what I'm feeling, what I'm picking up, what I'm reading from you, from what you're putting out, from what you are surrounded by, which means that you have this within you. You can listen to this within yourself because you have it contained within you. I'm just your guide. I'm your guide. I'm the middleman. I'm the conduit. But you have the capability of doing this for yourself, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you find that within yourself. I'm here to give you those confirmations, and I know that I am giving you that revelatory, like, holy shit moment right now, because I can feel it, like, oh my gosh. And now I have all this crown pressure, so something awoke, which is cool. But your ancestors are going to be surrounding you during Samhain because they want to help get you through this time. They want you to walk through the fires, become the ash, be born again from that ash, and turn into the phoenix, and let them nourish you. Let them hydrate you. Let your cups be filled. It's not a mirage. It's the life you're meant to live. All right, let's move on to the full moon and total lunar eclipse, and that is November 8th. Okay, Virgos, we are back, and we are now on November 8th, and this is the full moon total lunar eclipse. Now, this is in Taurus, and it is a liminal or a middle place of transformational changes. These are changes. See, if there's that light orb. Oh my gosh. Nope, that has got to be something else. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Okay, I'm tripping. That was crazy cakes. Anyway, what I was saying, this is a liminal space of transformation. That means that all the changes that are being called for here, these started back in 2004. And that doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, I still have so far to go because it doesn't close until 2040. It means that you need to look at what has changed in your life in 2004 and how you have gotten here. Mars and Black Moon Lilith are both out of bounds during this lunar eclipse, and they are paralleling each other. So this is no holds barred, no rules count. This is a transformation of the perception of toxic divine masculine energy, the abandoning father, the silenceable divine feminine, and giving way to a rebirth by changing the inner fears that whisper lies and fallacies in your ears. This is about eclipsing the hardship mentality surrounding co-creating your life from the heart and from the soul, and giving way to a new illumination of what it means to be soft and what fertility you can find in that softness and the luxury of personal growth to bring forth more beauty into the world. The missing piece, the message that I got was the missing piece of all creation is the heart. The true nature is that the heart is the beauty. We can redeem our lives through the awareness that the painful stings of the past make us immune to the poison once we recognize our true strength in getting back up and sharing our heart's creativity. We become immune to the poison. We become immune to the poison. I just feel like I need to tell you this. Once you are stung, you're immune to the poison, which means it can't ever break you again. You cannot be broken by it again. This is about the beauty of living as a conduit of energy, healing, and creation between the heavens and the earth. Knowing that you're co-creating, knowing you're living in the gray area, the liminal space, mediating the inner tension between the divine masculine and divine feminine through the purity and innocence of the love of the inner child. Now, this is a 16 and 7 or a Tower and Chariot day. This is about the rising of a strong Mars in Cancer. The true power of a Mars in Cancer is an emotionally aware divine masculine energy. Mars is said to be in fall when he's in Cancer, and I know this because I have my Mars in Cancer at a critical degree nonetheless. So I have that hyper amplified Mars energy in the sign of Cancer in the 12th house. It's a powerhouse energy in my life. But this is about emotionally aware divine masculine, emotionally aware expenditure of energy in the outside world. I was like excess energy, but no, expenditure of energy in the outside world. And emotionally aware divine masculine energy is nothing more or less than a harbinger of peace. Now, the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus are all squaring off with Saturn in Aquarius. This means that it is a time to learn the lessons of change and evolution, the karmic blessings of the individual from the collective past through willingly modernizing and no longer holding on to power out of fear. When I say holding on to power out of fear, we have to think about Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. The archetypal characters of these are Zeus and Kronos and Uranus. And it is fathers being terrified of being overthrown by their sons, so they harm their children to protect their power. And what we're learning, and especially through Mars in retrograde, what we're learning is how to relinquish that power, how to see our children as the future, and how to teach them. When we do that, we evolve, we modernize. When we release our children to making their own mistakes and walking their own path and knowing that, you know what, they may come at us at some point in time, but their path is not our path to walk. we have to let go, then we willingly are stepping into a state where we're relinquishing our power, giving it to them that they rightfully have, and evolving out of the same patterns and behaviors. Now, for this moon phase, you're in this Beltane energy with a star energy. This is about you. Your higher self is literally telling you you are manifesting union within yourself. You are bringing in your divine feminine energy during this moon phase. And I'm hearing whether you like it or not. Okay. Sure. So you're essentially pulling in the essence of your divine masculine and divine feminine into harmony. That's what this Beltane card is talking about. Now, you also are coming from this goddess energy. It's with this goddess energy, as much as she would be associated with the Empress, which is funny because we've got the Three of Fire, which is literally Venus energy, and Venus is the Empress. You have a lot of Venusian energy being highlighted here. And Venus during this time is still in Scorpio. And you have Samhain. So you have Beltane and Samhain. Whoa, those are the correlating themes. Wow, you guys are literally like, I see the dark, I see the light, I'm blending them together. I'm integrating these. And you're doing it in your heart. You're doing it by welcoming in your divine feminine energies. This is all I'm seeing, is literally this lunar eclipse, what is being eclipsed into your life, what is transforming within you is your divine feminine is awakening and blending with your divine masculine because you've been needing this, seeking this, aching for this, begging for this. There is divine harmony, divine union here. And with this being from your higher self, this is all very, very, very blessed. Wow. All right, let's see what your ancestors say. Ritual, card 33. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. This is about you moving through the darkness. Just like I said, you know the darkness, you know the light. You're moving through it now and you're learning to love yourself and you're learning to awaken to the divine feminine beauty and wonder and awe that is within you. And this is not about gender. This is about energy. This is a powerful divine feminine energy. And I don't mean dark divine feminine, though her energy is in there. This is about you recognizing your own softness, your own love, your own tranquility, your own beauty. Like you're learning that you are this conduit. Wow. Wow. I'm so excited for you guys. Wow. Okay. I know I sound like Owen Wilson. I can hear it. Wow. Look, you've got new beginnings. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You have the card 27, spiritual connection. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. You guys are coming into union. Some of you may be coming into union with your divine partner. I hate saying that. I really hate saying that. I don't like saying that. It may be somebody with an Aquarius position or Gemini. Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Gemini, Venus in Aquarius, Venus in Scorpio. That's what I'm picking up from these. Wow, 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 wow. Or Venus in the third house in a fire sign. That's a really, really, really specific one. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. But there's something here about some sort of a spiritual awakening that you're doing that is bringing you together with your partner in a really beautiful way. Look, they're connected, like her third eye is connected to his crown chakra. It's almost like they're able to finally see the truth of each other. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. This is literally your cups are being filled. Did you guys do a ritual recently? Some sort of manifestation of any sort? If you did, this is literally letting you know that there is a new beginning in your spiritual connections. You may have a connection in your life that is getting a new start during this total lunar eclipse. Make sure that you thank your ancestors for this, because they are really working overtime to make sure that you get what you're meant for in this life. And I see so much happiness and harmony and joy, and there's so much love here. I can't even tell you. Between the Beltane and all the Venusian energy, it's like your Venus placement is awakening finally. Your Venus is awakening. She's seeing that enlightenment, that it's like she was the evening star and she's now moving into the morning star phase. That's amazing and really, really incredible, because she's technically in the evening star phase during this. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get your final messages. We have speak your mind. Oh. And the card 40, morning, the world awaits you. There is something with Piscean energy with you guys. Yeah, you guys may have Venus in Pisces. I don't know. But there's definitely Piscean energy here. I do know that these are cards I've seen, these two in particular, and I think it was during Pisces. I could be wrong. But this is about your higher self coming down and saying, expand your awareness, speak your mind, speak new beginnings into your life now. Speak it from the heart, because the world is waiting for you to start again. That it's that morning star energy that I'm picking up. And look, they're blowing on dandelions, like making wishes, like somebody in your life you are literally starting over with. There's this energy of new beginnings here, but it takes two, and it takes work, and it takes changing those perceptions. And again, this ritual, I just keep coming back to the ritual. Did you do some sort of ritual? Because it worked. It worked. Whatever ritual you did, it worked. If you did a ritual during this lunar eclipse, it worked. Because your new beginning is literally here. Did you, like, during this eclipse? Wow, that's fast. Okay, I don't see anything else. The ritual just has me caught up, but you guys are really harmonizing both within yourself and within your connections. This is such a beautiful energy, and your higher self is really like, yeah, your divine feminine she is on point. She is awakened. She is working. She is flowing. She is moving. She is your new beginning, and that's beautiful. And that would be my daughter's phone. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and we're going to move into the next moon phase, and I'm going to go get her phone. Okay, before I switch over, I got to let you guys know this, because we were talking about this new beginning, and in like a new beginning with your partnerships and your divine feminine being awoken. And my daughter has this alarm on her phone, and she forgot her phone at home today. And so it's sitting on the counter, so I shouldn't have heard it, but I did because I have my door open. But she has this alarm set on her phone for 11:11 a.m. every day because she makes a wish. It's like her own personal ritual. She makes a wish every day at 11:11. It's just what she does. That's what that alarm was that just went off, that I said I needed to go check. It was her 11:11 alarm, which is literally the signal of new beginnings. Like, I could not have timed that better myself. That was amazing. And it is literally coincidental. And granted, nothing is a coincidence. It's serendipitous, really, that her phone was here on the counter. The door is open, and the airflow is the way that it is, that it could be heard. So I'm just amazed, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Now we're going to transition over to the third quarter moon in Leo. Okay, Virgo, we are on November 16th, 2022 with the third quarter moon in Leo. I couldn't help but laugh because we have a 15 and 6 and a Devil and Lovers day. And we started this all off with the Devil card, and we are now in the Lovers card with you guys. And I am like, I want to cry for you because Scorpio season looks like it's going to be a hell of a season for you guys in such a beautiful way. So Venus, for this third quarter moon in Leo, Venus has moved into the 0 degree of Sagittarius. This puts her at a critical degree in the sign of Sagittarius. This is about the belief in love taking aim for the future. So we are literally like writing love on an arrow, pulling the arrow back and releasing it into the future and being like, yeah, this love is going to go far. So I am, I don't know if you guys caught my prior pick a card, but I tried a new kind of Smart Plus water. It's Tranquility, and it's got ashwagandha and tangerine extract. It is so good. You guys have to try this one. If you tried the Clarity one, try this one or the Renew one. But anyway, wait, is it Renew or Refresh? Either, I'll show you the next time I have it. But this moon phase, because we've got the tension, all quarter moons come with tension. It's because they're the moment the sun and the moon come into a square aspect, a 90-degree aspect or a right angle. And whatever planets are traveling with or transiting near the sun and the moon, they become energetically involved. It's like when you have an argument out on the playground as a kid. Well, you and this person have an argument, and this person goes and runs off and tells this person. Now, these people are now involved with this one-on-one argument. That's pretty much what it's like when there are planets transiting with the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are butting heads because they're in that tense 90-degree aspect energy. But all the planets that are around the sun or all the planets that are around the moon are getting involved on whichever side they're on. And because of that, we have a heightened energy of tension between the sun and the moon. These are our most personal planets, who we are and our emotional selves, our soul and our ego, our purpose and our path, essentially. It's literally pretty much like that. So we have that heightened energy. Now, the right angle, right side of the body, right anything, is associated with the divine masculine, just as the left is with the divine feminine. This means we're called to use the energies of each of the planets and the planetary alignments and the planets that are around them in order to lessen the tension on our divine masculine energy. And we do this through taking action or being receptive to the divine feminine energies. Now, divine feminine can take action. She can. She does it in a different way than divine masculine. It's not quite so in your face action. Right now, me channeling, that to me is a divine feminine action that I take. Because I sit in a state of open receptivity to the messages and then I just talk. But we're going to move on. The sun and Mercury in Scorpio plus Venus and Sagittarius are squaring off with the moon. So we've got 3 against 1, essentially. How we find the solution here is through Mars retrograded in Gemini. The sun is making a quincunx, or a flexibility energy, and the moon is making a sextile, an easygoing, easy-flowing energy. And that's really how I see a lot of Virgo energy, is very easygoing, very easy-flowing. Let me do this. I got this. I got this. So we've got both the sun and the moon working together with Mars in their own ways. It's about being flexible in our vision and our view of love and of the ways we speak, both with the divine and with ourselves and with each other in emotional ease and in flow to find creative solutions and integrate changes. So we embody the duality of being a shapeshifter. No, a shapeshifter is nothing more or less than someone who continues to evolve and decides, I'm going to be this person. Now I'm going to be this person. Now I'm going to be this person. Because they're evolving and they're embodying each evolution. This is also a call for us to excise shame and guard our inner creative field so true change internally can blossom from within, because the changes that we make within are what are going to impact our outside world. This is about forgiving the struggles and the tensions that prior hierarchical structures throughout the world and through our consciousness have been in place, and forgiving them for being there and making a conscious decision to change those structures mentally to a healthy, loving, and very welcome equality for a new world and a new reality to be created from within you. as you're moving through this, you're in the Eight of Pentacles and the romance. Now, I always talk about now that ever since working with the romance rune and knowing that it is both Mars and Venus energy, and you were so in depth with the Mars energy, how different it is. But we have the 10 of Chalices here and the Eight of Pentacles. You're diligently working on romance. Like, just plain and simple, you're working on love in your life. You're working on loving yourself, but you're also working on building that love that you have in your life. For some of you, this is about building yourself so that you are open and welcome to receiving the love that you're meant for. Because when we look at the 10 of Chalices, in this deck in particular, I really don't like this 10 of Chalices simply because it portrays a wedding day. And to me, the wedding day is not the happy time. It's the marriage. It's the building. It's the dissonance. It's the struggle that makes you grow up, the struggle that makes you repair, the struggle that makes you a better person. That's the core. That's the essence. That's the beauty of a relationship. That's what we're here for and what we're meant for. It's nothing more or less than the beauty and the blessings that we're meant to have in a connection. It's not just the wedding day, it's all the rest of it. And that is something that I'm getting here, is that you may have had the wedding day, but now you're understanding and coming into the phase of, well, I've got to work on it. I've got to get my hands dirty. Like, this isn't just, it's not just a happily ever after kind of thing. And this goes for those of you who aren't in a connection, but are working on your divine masculine and the divine feminine energies in your own personal healing, because this is the 12th house and this is about your subconscious and unconscious mind and about you. So we are working with this coming into an awareness of, you do have to get your hands dirty. You have to, in order for real change to happen, you have to actually initiate the real change. And you have to be diligent with it and work at it. And the Eight of Pentacles, along with the Seven of Pentacles, are both saying that you are working at it. You're working at it. And it's coming down to the Lovers card. And I absolutely love this Lovers card, because in a very logical way, I'm going to tell you, for some of you who are looking at houses or seeking to buy a new house, it will happen. Get your hands dirty. Keep working on what you're working on. Keep blending these energies together and keep changing this mindset that you're changing, because your life is changing for you. And that's a really beautiful thing. I am literally seeing here, Virgos, that you guys are doing the work. And that takes so much. And if nobody has acknowledged it, I am acknowledging it right here and now. You're doing the work that you're meant to be doing for yourself. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because you create this reality. If you want this new home, you create this new home. And you're realizing that it's not just about this. You have to build, you have to grow, you have to nurture, you have to love, you have to get your hands dirty to bring all of these things in and to bring them together. And it's about balancing out the work and the receptivity, the work and the love life and all of it. It's bringing everything into balance. But when you are in this romance energy, even if you're not in a partnership yet, it's still realizing that you're meant to be in a partnership and start acting like that instead of acting like it doesn't matter, because it does. So let's see what your ancestors have to say. We have Healer 22. Listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. Now, I say this all the time about Virgos. You are the mirror of the zodiac. You hold a mirror to everybody else. You show them the good, the bad, the ugly within themselves. And you do this just naturally. It's who you naturally are. But you have a hard time holding the mirror up and looking at yourself at times. This is telling me that you did this, and you likely did it during the full moon. Like, you looked at the truth of it and you let yourself heal. You may have gone to a healer. You may have just awoken to the healing energy of Mother Earth. That's something coming through really strongly. But this 22 is a master builder energy. You're learning to build based off of healing instead of building based off of fear or discord or disbelief or anything like that. You're building off of true blue healing. And that's a beautiful thing. Let's get more messages. We have Finding and 42. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. Yeah. here's the thing. When you find what you are seeking within yourself, within your life, you realize that life isn't always going to be all about go, go, go. You balance things out. You've got a 6 here, a 6 here. 6s are all about balance and about harmony. When you find that beautiful balance between action and receptivity, that's when you balance these energies out. That's when you come into this harmony together. Both the Lovers and the 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Chalices or 10 of Cups, talk about that. It talks about that beautiful balance between them. You've been seeking, now you are finding. You're not seeking anymore, you are finding. You're finding your path, you're finding your purpose, you're finding your love, and especially the love of yourself. So we have follow your dreams. See, I just heard, we told you it wasn't a mirage. You have some really spicy ancestors, I'm going to tell you that. And then we have 37, great, endings are inevitable. So this is something that you must have learned, is that you had to end that way of thinking. And that's a big deal. This is something I want to say I talked about with Gemini, is sometimes we see and perceive endings or sacrifice as being something that they're not actually, because we're afraid of losing the things that are meant for us. But if they're meant for us, we're not going to lose them. Sometimes the endings are literally just a way of being, a way of thinking, a way of perceiving. And we get so scared of that. We get so scared that if we stop the way that we are, that everything's going to fall apart. But in reality, it won't. And look, there's literally a shooting star. I was talking to my husband about this just the other day, about how rare it is to see a shooting star. I just have this feeling that you'll see a shooting star now. But look, there's this, when you see a shooting star, you say, nope, it's the first star you see at night. You go, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, grant the wish I wish tonight. Go do that. Go be a kid and go do that. Make that wish and then relax into it. Relax into knowing that you are following your dreams because you found it. You found the love within yourself. And that's such a huge and important thing. You found deep healing within yourself too. You're finding this beautiful balance. Sometimes things have to end in order for you to follow your dreams. So if anything ended during this Scorpio season beyond a mindset or a way of living, it's literally because it was time for you to heal and follow your dreams. So let's clear this off here. We're going to get this nice and clear here. Thank you so much. And yes, I thank my runes and then I cleanse them when we're all done with the readings so that they are ready for the next run, because we have cardinal signs next. All right. So we're just going to get some closing messages because you guys had a lot going on, but there was a lot where it felt like you guys were challenged excessively, like really, really challenged. And that happens with the spiritual awakening, is getting challenged, because you have to have that challenge to the ways in which you've been operating that aren't good for you. And I apologize if I challenged you, because it can be painful. We've got spells and alchemy, handwriting, authenticity, and look, shooting star and confirmation. I'll be damned. And then tea leaves and foresight. Spirits like I told you so. I love this. Something about spells and alchemy that we don't realize is every word that we speak is literally us speaking spells. So if you think about it that way, then the life that you live, the love that you speak into your life and into existence in your life, that determines how it is. Alchemy is nothing more or less than it's transforming what was into something new, something bigger, something better. You're transforming into your authentic self, and you're learning to find confirmation out in the outside world. You likely are going to be having gifts of foresight awakening as well. But yeah, I'm actually seeing kind of like angels and harps and a lot of arrows. So if those are repetitive for you, know that this is your confirmation. But confirmation. Essentially, Spirit's saying, this message was for you. It's okay. It's an authentic change that you're going through. This is an authentic change. You're changing into your authentic self. And sometimes things fall away during that, but it's meant to fall away, especially when it's a negative mindset. All right, Virgos, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between our energies. And thank you so much to Spirit for allowing these messages to flow so smoothly and beautifully. I really appreciate working with you every single day that I get to. Virgos, if this resonated, please hit that like button. Comment down below and let other Virgo risings know that they're not in it alone, because you guys are a team on this. And let me know, let all of us know how you're doing. We all very much care. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And don't forget to check in the description box for my author page so that you can get your copy of Mars's Retrograde Guidebook today. All right, Virgos, I love you all. I will see you next time. Bye.